Hi, it's me, Josephine, and today it's all about this very cute little gnome baby here in this leaf. Sleeping there inside. That's the leaf. Here's the gnome baby. The arms are able to move and the body too. But just stay until the end and also watch the second part, and then you will know how to make one of those very cute little gnome babies. To make this, I have used only real wool. I have not used any polyester. And of course, if you're vegan, then you have the option to use, instead of the real wool, the polyester blends. But the wool will felt better. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you want to see more of those little figures or other things like a figure like this, then don't forget to subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, and you will always be notified if there's coming a new video up. I have here from the brand 32 the tubular gauze. The brand does not matter at all. To me, it was just important that it's all made out of cotton and that there is nothing else inside and that it works. I thought it would be thinner. I like it a lot thinner usually, but I still have issues with the measurements in the US, so that's what I got. And I'm gonna take off this much. This is gonna be very, very little what I'm making. Because when you look at the one behind here and you see the size, that is already a huge difference, because you're going to lose a part of the top and a part of the bottom when you are closing it. Okay, so then you need to fill this up. You need some wool. You don't need the kind of wool I have. This is the healing wool. I have it stuff from Germany. It's just the wool I already have and I didn't want to buy more. You can use filling wool, and this is absolutely great. You don't need the wool where still the lanolin is on top, because this is to heal and this is just inside of a doll. Then you need a needle with some thread. This might be not enough. I'm gonna take a new thread. So then when you have the needle with the thread in, you are going to make here a knot. I'm going through it a few times and I have the thread double. I always take my thread double when I'm sewing something. So if you start too close to the corner, then it might not work well. But if you're too far away, then you are kind of wasteful. So this is how it's supposed to look like. Then you pull a little, and then it's kind of like a hat. You go here around. So I was 3 times going around, and now I'm making a knot. Okay, I'm going to repeat this knot. This is how it looks like right now, and of course you can do it as often as you want, but it always gets thicker and thicker. And for me, this is fine. I just go here through the side now, very close, and close it that way. Okay, so I have this little thingy that looks like a hat, and I am turning it. Then I need some of the wool. and I'm pushing it here inside. I'm pushing with my finger the filling down as much as I can. So here's now this little thing that looks sort of like a balloon, and this is the base of the head I'm making. Usually it's better if it's stuffed very tight, but because this is so tiny, it was just not possible for me to fill in more wool and to make it tighter. Now we've got here some fabric in one of all the skin colors of the world. When you are buying fabric, then you've got to make sure that it is cotton and that is stretchy. If you are trying to use a fabric that is not stretchy, you're not going to be able to use it for the head of the doll. Fabric that isn't stretchy is great for dolls' clothes, but not for the skin. Usually I'm using my leftover fabrics, but I did not have any in this color, so I've got to use a new fabric here. And now I have to figure out how much fabric I'm going to need. Usually it's better to use less fabric, but because this doll head is so tiny, I need to figure out how I'm able to close it at the end. The fabric, this way stretchy, not this way, this way. What means the face does not go this way, the face goes that way. Okay, no head is round. There's just no head round. So this must be the shape of a head. I went down here, poke inside with my needle and my thread, and I'm gonna go all around and peek inside on the other side with my needle and go back inside. And before I completely pull, I'm holding it, and I'm doing this very careful and very gentle, and I make sure that this is where I want it, that this is in the middle before I start pulling. I don't pull like crazy, it's just to separate this into front and back. And I'm going again on the other side inside, but I'm just kind of closing it by doing that. So this gave this head a very weird shape where it looks kind of like I would make a pumpkin, but I'm not. I've got to choose now front and back. From here I go in the section where I think the eyes should be, and I go here inside and come out on the other side. Not pulling in any way, I go back to the other side. Here's my thread coming out. Here I go back inside. And again, very gentle. I make sure it's where I want it before I start to pull. I go down there on this fuzzy end. And I make sure it doesn't get loose by holding it a little bit. And I peek around. Oopsie. I want to sew around this, not like that. That's fine. So it has this side and the side what I separated. So these are separated and this is separated. And I am closing this again. So you see there's a lot left. That was way too much. But do you see what I see? Here is coming a shape of a face. I'm trying to have it very tight and not too much here on the end. Stretchy, not stretchy. The more I have here on the sides, what I have to fold inside, the more it goes into the face of the doll. You will see that later. Not pretty. That's why it's important that this is very tiny. I'm taking a needle and I'm trying to hold it together the way I want to sew it. You've got to look, where's the bottom? My bottom is here. So what you want to do is you want to sew it as close as possible together, the holes, that you don't see them at all at the end. The problem is my eyes are not the best right now, and either you see what I'm doing or I see it. So excuse me if it is not perfect what I'm doing here. It's just I would like to show you what I'm doing here, and I just don't see it then by myself, even though I'm wearing my glasses right now. It is very hard. Try to avoid to get any knots in there. As help you can use one of those. We call them Fingerhut in German. Some of you might know them as a kiss from Peter Pan. Very helpful to push the needle to the other side. What I'm trying to do here is the invisible stitch. But now, because this is open, you've got to make sure how you're sewing. So I'm folding this inside. We are coming closer to the end. I've got to take off my clippy. So I start to fold it now inside until I am happy with it. To make this easier, I'm gonna cut off a little bit of it. Don't do this if you don't have to. Just look at your doll, what you made, and then try to fold it in, and then you will see how it would look like the best. Because you've got to fold all of this inside so you don't really see it. I'm gonna use this clippy down here so I'm not pushing it out. I hope you enjoyed that video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up. I see you in my next video. Goodbye!